I own a concession ski school and run a race program up at Stevens Pass, which is about 70, 80 miles from downtown Seattle, up in the Cascades. My parents started it in about 1966 when I was about 3 years old. My mom was an ex-racer from Canada, was one of the first women examiners in Canada, one of the first women certified instructors in Canada. She met my dad, moved down here, and they taught skiing, and they were asked to start a ski school. It was a great upbringing. As I got older, my passion was racing. I raced, went through all the different levels of racing here, and then kept progressing, moved to Idaho, made it up to the U.S. ski team, skied on the U.S. ski team for a couple years, went to college, raced at the college level, then met my wife, got married, we started a life, and then my mom said if I went to ski school, it's time to come back. So I came back and took over the ski school from her. We basically pack up the trailer and move up to the ski area, park our trailer at the ski area for the 4 days or 5 days, however long it is, and base out of that trailer up at the ski area. So we kind of have a house on wheels, if you will.
Our typical work week starts on Wednesday. We get everything packed up and we move up to Stevens for the weekend. And then we teach lessons Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have about 550 kids in ski school right now. We have a staff of about 70 instructors. So it's actually a pretty decent sized program. And all of our business is done in 7 weeks. So it's very intensive at the same time. We teach mostly 4-hour all-day lessons. We start with kids that are age 2.5 all the way through adult and through racing actually, and instructor training as well. We have programs where we take kids up on buses, where we work with school districts, pick them up at school and bring them up for weekend lessons. And we have big programs where families drive up on their own to learn to ski or snowboard. It's very important to us that we put out a quality product, and also that we have very personal relationships with the athletes and students that we have. So our program is relatively small, and in the race world in particular, it's quite small. And that enables us to have long-term relationships with the kids who come through the program. I guess from the outside, it looks like a lot of hard work. It looks like many hours and heavy labor. Today we had a tough day on the mountain. We had 5 inches of new snow, and it hadn't been groomed, and we're in the Pacific Northwest, so our snow can be heavy at times, and it took a lot of work to be able to have the opportunity to train for the kids who needed to train. It took hours to get it all set up and to tear it down, but we don't really notice that, because that's what we need to do, because that's what the kids need. And whatever the kids need, that's what we make happen.
We also run a race program. That's where my passions were as I was growing up. I love racing and performance. And in a lot of respects, what racing is just fine-tuning free skiing. It's one of the things I talk to the kids a ton about is it's not just racing, it's ski racing, and the first word in ski racing is ski. And you have to be able to ski, you have to be able to make good turns. That's the only way you're going to be fast. And so in the idea that we try to foster to them is that it's all about skiing and the turn you're making, and then it's how do we make it faster through the process. How can we be more efficient? How can we be cleaner in what we're trying to do? How can we be more disciplined in our movements in our body to achieve what we're trying to achieve? At the same time, trying to make it and help them with the fact that when they're done with their racing career, they still love to ski. That's my number one objective with the kids, is that when they're done, they're going out and going skiing. They're in college, they're teaching other people how to ski, or they're finding a reason to go skiing because that's what they love to do. And that's my number one thing. Now that I have some boys of my own, it's been really fun to go back through the process that I kind of went through, being part of the ski school, having my parents do it. It's been really fun sharing with them the experiences of teaching skiing, of being around it, of understanding a sport pretty in-depthly.
Growing up in a ski school and being around and skiing all your life, it's a little bit different, you know. When you come home and you're not skiing on a weekend, you're like, what do people do for a living? Because, you know, you're used to up skiing and it kind of becomes just ingrained. You just go out, you ski, you have fun, that's what you like doing. It definitely changes your perspective on what you do, for sure.
Growing up through the ski school was unbelievable. It was a really cool experience. It's one huge family. I'm really close with all the instructors, and I think it helped a lot for my skiing. Transitioning into racing, it got better because now I have a really good group that supports me. I can go up to any one of them and say, you know, this is what I'm struggling with. What are your ideas? Can you help me with it?
Because our family is so committed to skiing and ski instruction and ski racing, it's pretty invasive. It takes over our lives easily. For myself, as the mom, I get to manage and herd the cats and do the laundry and help do all of that, and it can be pretty difficult to manage it all. But the lessons that the kids learn through the process make it all worthwhile. I don't think that there's a lot of places still for children where they can have the kind of freedom and autonomy that they have on the mountain.
One of the big reasons I do it is because of the lifestyle it affords us as a family. You know, nobody teaches skiing to get rich, but we're very rich in lifestyle. We get to spend, as a family, we get to spend a ton of time together, sharing joys that we all love to do. We get to play a lot together in things that are fun. It allows us to do things that together as a family that a lot of families don't get to do nowadays.
My kids can have a conversation with any adult on the chair. They've had to do that since they were 5 or 6 years old, right? They've traveled to Europe. They've traveled to South America by themselves at 16, 17 years old. So it's a family affair that makes this work. They can pack their stuff. They can do their laundry. Everybody has little roles. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's bumpy. People get cranky. And we just try to be gracious with each other and understand. My oldest right now is getting ready to go to an important race for him, and we've been giving him a hard time the last couple days because he's had his cranky pants on. But it's part of the process, and we believe it's a great way for them to grow up, and they're turning into adults that we respect, and that's what's most important to us.
Having been brought up in that lifestyle, it's a fantastic way to understand different people's perspectives, and it really rounds out your understandings and beliefs by being able to have a lot of time together doing something that you enjoy doing, that you love to do, with other people that love to do it.